Hello sweet friends, it's Sarah at Crochet with Coffee, and today we are going to be making this cozy for a wide mouth mason jar. So we are going to be making this cover. It is a waistcoat stitch in the round, so it gives this really pretty knit look right here. So we are going to create this. I'm going to show you how to build that. And if you want to make it with a different kind of jar, like if you have a regular mason jar or a larger mason jar, you can do pretty much the same directions. So you can use the basic instructions for a regular mason jar or a large mason jar if you'd like. All right, let's get started. And for this one, I'm using a 5mm, but if you want to use a 5.5, a 6, a 4.5, anything that works well for you with the type of yarn that you're using. So I do want to mention as well, if the waistcoat stitch in the round is giving you trouble or it's frustrating you for any reason, because it does take a little bit more effort to get into the stitches the way that these are structured. Instead of not doing the cozy, I would recommend just doing regular single crochets. It will give a very similar look. It just won't have the V's right on top of each other like that, but you can still make this cozy with single crochets. So just keep that in mind. If this is not your type of stitch that you enjoy, go ahead and do just a regular single crochet. So I'm just working with a regular worsted weight yarn. This is a really good project to use your scrap yarn. So this is just some extra yarn that I had. I really like the colorway, so I thought that it would make a really pretty cup cozy. So we are going to start with a magic ring. Now I just uploaded a tutorial of a very slow step-by-step instructions on how to do a magic ring if you would like to visit that. That's how we're going to start this project, but if you would prefer doing a chain 4 and making a ring like that, you can do that as well. So we're just going to start with our magic ring, and I'm going to just chain 1. So I've got my magic ring, I'm chaining 1, and I'm going to single crochet 8 into the ring. Once you have 8 single crochets, we're going to close up our magic ring. And again, I do have the tutorial for this linked in the description and on my channel, so feel free to visit that if you need instructions on how to do that. Okay, so now that we have closed up our ring, or if you have a chain 4 and you've already worked your 8 single crochets into your ring, go ahead and start another single crochet right into your first single that you did of the first row. So we're just going to be working in a spiral, and we're not doing a step up, so there won't be any seams along here. You won't see any seams, so we're just going to be working in a spiral. So go ahead and do your single crochet into that first single right there, and I recommend using a stitch marker and just placing that into that first single crochet. So the one that we just completed, put a stitch marker there, and then you know where your beginning of round is, because on this round we are going to be working increases. So we are going to be working 2 single crochets into each stitch from the previous round. So go ahead and do your 2 singles in each stitch. So then you'll have a total of 16 single crochets when you get back around to your stitch marker. Okay, so that was my last stitch before the stitch marker. I'm just going to count and make sure I have 16 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 stitches. All right, so that has completed our second round. Now, if you've not made flat circles before, I'm just going to tell you a quick little trick. So to make flat circles, just a quick trick to share with you, and I wish I knew this earlier. Whatever you start your center width, so we started with 8 stitches. That means you want to increase by 8 stitches every row that you do. So this last row that we did, the second row, we increased by 8 because we worked 2 stitches into each stitch. So we had 8 to start with, and then we did another 8. So that means 16. So our next round, we need to increase by 8 again to keep the circle flat. So we are going to increase by 8 again, and that's going to be 24 stitches. So how we're going to do that, we're going to work into that first stitch with the stitch marker. I'm going to move that to the stitch that we just completed to know that that is our first stitch. So now on this round, instead of working 2 singles into each space, we are going to alternate 1 single, 2 singles, 1 single, 2 singles. So I just did 1, and the next one we're going to do 2. And then we're going to do 1 single in the next. And the next stitch we're going to do 2, and you're just going to alternate that around this round. So 1 and 2, 1 and 2. All right, so we should finish this round. So I just worked in my last stitch of this round, and we should have 24 stitches. So let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. All right, so we have 24. Now again, we are going to do another round. So we're going to do, so the next round is going to be increased by 8 again. So we're going to have 8, 16, 24, and 32 in our next round. So I'm going to single crochet into the stitch marker space there. I'm going to put my stitch marker into the stitch I just made. Okay. Now to do this round and to increase by 8, we are going to work 1 single, 1 single, 2 singles, and alternate that. So 1 single, the next one is going to be a single, and then 2 singles in the next space. So that is just going to continue going around 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. We're going to do that around all the way around, and we should end up with 32 stitches. So I've got my 32 stitches. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder. We've got a thunderstorm going on right now, so I apologize if you can hear that. But what we're looking for is for our circle to fit try to fit about where that ridge of the mason jar is. So we have that, and that fits about where I want it. All right, so that is the size that I want. Now I'm going to do a row of single crochets around this row. So just do another 32 all the way around, and just remember to move your stitch marker every time you start a new row so you know where your starting point is. Because we're not doing that step up, it's really important to know where our beginning of row is. So go ahead and work all the way around this, and we will meet back up in just a moment for our next step. All right, I've finished that round. Now I'm going to do one more round exactly the same, but we're going to be very careful to leave our stitches on the loose side, because we are going to be working into the stitches a little bit differently on the row after this one. Or after this next row, we are going to be working into our stitches a little bit differently, so we want to make sure that they're nice and loose, or you'll have a little bit of difficulty getting the following row done. So go ahead and work one more round, making sure to move your stitch marker and keeping your stitches on the loose side. Okay, I just finished my next round, and you can see that the edges are starting to curl, and that's exactly what you want because it will be sitting on top of here, and we want it to hug the bottom curve of the glass. So that is perfect. If you see that little curl, that's perfect. Now we're going to build the sides of your cover. So what we are going to do, we're going to be working into the next stitch. So this stitch right here that we worked into, this one is complete. So now to the left of our stitch marker, you see that V there? We are going to be starting to work inside the two sides of that V. So the reason we wanted these stitches loose is because we're going to go, instead of underneath those two loops here, we're going to be going in between the two bars of the single crochet. So right through that stitch. So we've got a bar on the left and a bar on the right of your hook. So go ahead and wrap your yarn around like you typically would for a single crochet. Pull it through, and you're going to complete your single crochet. Now remember to keep these nice and loose because you are working into the V's for the remainder of the body of the cozy. Okay, and the next one, so right into that V of your next single crochet. And again. And again. And you're just working this all the way around until you get to your stitch marker. And when you get to your stitch marker, you're just going to complete like you normally do and just move your, I guess we should have moved this. Row there. So you're just going to work all the way around till you get to your stitch marker, and you're just going to continue doing exactly the same thing, just working inside the V of those single crochets. You're going to do that until it reaches wherever you want it on the glass, plus leaving a tiny bit of space because we are going to do a little bit of a border on the top of the glass. So just keep that in mind. I did 16 total rows of this stitch. That'd be a total of 22 rows, and then I did the border row. So if you feel like it needs to be a little bit taller for you or a little bit shorter, you can do whatever works for you. But for me, it was a total of 22 rows and 16 rows of this waistcoat stitch. So go ahead and work it as tall as you need to, and we'll meet back when we are ready to add our top border. So for this one, I ended up getting, let's see, let's count my rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 total rows. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4 increase rows, 2 regular single crochets, and then I started my waistcoat stitch. So that is the breakdown of what I did for this one. Yours may be more or less. It just depends on how tight your stitches are and the size hook that you use and all that. So let's go ahead and do our reverse single crochet or a crab stitch. And what I like to do, I'm going to take my stitch marker out. I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch that I had my stitch marker in. So just single or slip stitch right into the top there. Now we're going to do a reverse single crochet. And how that works is we are going to be working back the opposite direction. And what you're going to do, it's a little awkward, but you are going to take your hook and go into the previous stitch. So I'm going to go back, you can move that out of your way. And then just go into your stitch, pull up a loop like you would for a single crochet. You've got 2 loops on your hook. They will probably be a little twisted, but that's okay. And then wrap your yarn around your hook and pull it through those 2 loops on your hook. Now you're going to do the same thing. Go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, wrap around, and pull through 2. Having all of these loops twisted is normal because we are working backwards. So don't worry about any of that. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay, go into your next stitch, and you're just going to do that all the way around. I've worked all the way around, and the next stitch that I'd come up to is the first crab stitch that we did. So I'm just going to chain 1, and I'm going to cut my yarn, and then I'm going to use my tail, pull that through. I'm going to use my tail to connect those 2, just to try and make it look consistent. All right, so I'm just going to go through the next stitch and just connect those 2. Just go back and forth, and then I'm going to weave in my ends on the inside. And this color doesn't really match, but we're just going to roll with it. Okay, back and forth 3 times. Cut my yarn. And I still have my inside tail, but I'm going to leave that for now. And we're just going to fit this and see how it's looking. And there it is. Your cup cozy is all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun, and I hope that this is going to be a fun addition to decorating your mason jars. If you did have fun with me today, please hit that like button and also subscribe if you'd like to stick around for more yarn related fun. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you find joy in the little things.